Hello, everybody. I am Nzinga Imani.
And I'm Ray Holiday.
And I'm Janae Bolden.
And this is All Right So Boom, the podcast where we sit down with celebrity guests and find out a little bit more about their origin story. And today we have Bangladesh in the building.
Hey,
We got a legend in the house.
A legend, the whole legend.
Hey,
We welcome you and appreciate your time.
appreciate y'all.
We're going to start off just wondering who you listening to nowadays? Who's on your playlist that's a current artist? What are you listening to?
That's crazy because I don't really listen to music, to be honest. I ain't got no playlist. I ain't got nothing on my phone.
Right.
Okay.
I don't got Apple Music, Tidal, nothing.
Any particular reason?
Well, I used to love music. You know what I'm saying? I used to be in love with music. I used to be one of them people that share music, talk about music, argue about music, fall out with people about music, you know. But like at some point, like music changed. And I wasn't in love with it no more. I kind of just really still just stay afloat by what I do. You know?
Yeah.
I hear stuff every now and then that I like, but the love ain't the same.
Got it.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have a lot of current stuff going on right now. Like
true.
we just ran into each other at Baby Tate's event.
Yeah.
So you were on her project that just came out, dropped last.
Yeah, I did a song called Wig.
One of the most fire tracks on there.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I also got currently I got
With Wayne.
Lil Wayne and 2
Please
Chainz
talk about it.
first single. It's called Pressure. We performed it on Jimmy Fallon on the 20th.
That's big.
where
That's huge.
debuted it at. I'm actually like whistling on the beat. Like
Oh, that's you doing it? Oh, that's dope.
yeah, that's their first single off their project. It's dope because you know me and 2 Chainz been friends before he was even popping. You know what I'm saying? So
Got it.
you know, then me and Wayne's history, I got like 2 of his biggest records. You know, so it's dope to
Amelie.
and 6 foot, 7 foot.
It's,
Oh,
even though the track just dropped with 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz did it over the weekend at One Music Fest, and the crowd went up.
Yeah.
Like,
That's hard.
Like it was really,
That's
really
dope. I think it's like really easy on the ears.
Yeah,
I think it's simplistic and like, you know, it's 2 verses on it, two different flows.
Yeah.
Get in and get out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So people want to hear it again. The whistle's kind of infectious, so
No, it really
people
is.
walk around trying to whistle it.
The whole concept, right? When I hear the whistle, I'm like, how does one even think that a whistle goes here? What's the process behind that?
I whistle all the time, right? Just doing it. You know what I'm
Got it.
saying? It's like the people's reaction when I'm around somebody I'm whistling, be like, that's you whistling? They make a big deal out of it.
Got
I
it.
never thought it was a big deal. I thought everybody could whistle.
I can't
So it
Just
was,
when my dog is around, I think is the only time. Like,
Not musically. Not musically.
yeah, so it was like people's reaction to it, I'm like, oh, it might be. So I just did it, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you possess something, you don't know how potent it is. 'cause
Right.
It's like
Right.
it's just what you do.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
it took a lot of times when people like react to stuff. It's like,
Right.
for real?
I feel like you're so chill and mellow. Not that I know you super
Yeah.
well, but I have been. I've been interviewing you probably for like 15 years. I feel like I talked to you back when you were really doing the big Luda hits, when
Yes.
Khalees,
Yeah.
Bossy was going on. Those type of songs we had interviews and talked about. But I feel like you don't. You know, maybe because you're so humble, so mellow, you let the music speak for you, let the work speak for you. Like, I want to make sure people really understand what you have achieved and
Yes,
how you
yes.
should be recognized
Right.
in this
Right.
culture
Yeah.
is on the
Super
level
iconic.
of like one of the greatest producers
Absolutely.
Yeah.
in pop
I'm chill.
culture, not just
Absolutely.
hip hop, but
Nope.
pop culture.
Absolutely,
Period.
absolutely.
Period.
I
No.
think I changed
Like
the game
Wayne,
a lot.
Rihanna,
definitely changed
it.
Beyonce, like the biggest names in the
Yeah.
game.
In the game. In the game.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
With the sound itself, I know personally when I hear a certain song, I'm just like the genius in it. When I think Brandy is one of my favorite artists.
Okay.
So when she dropped 11/7, of course we were very anxious.
Yeah.
But the minute I heard So Sick, like the first chord, I'm like, yo, this, like the thought process behind it.
And people don't think I do R&B. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? They don't know that. They think I'm a hip hop producer.
Really?
Yeah.
No, So Sick is one of the greatest.
Like I'm a
Right.
super
He
producer.
could do anything.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a
Absolutely.
He could do
super producer.
anything.
I mean, listen, diva in itself. Like,
Yeah.
when you hear, like, I mean, are you on social media like that? Do you pay attention to it? Probably.
I'm on social media.
Got it. So
I
when
don't think like people really know who I am for real. So I'm like a regular.
I was about to say it's the alias that you use.
Yeah.
You're not using
Do you
Bangladesh.
like that?
No, nah. I think I messed up when I named myself after a country.
Mhm.
Oh, I
It's
get it.
So
hard,
like
yeah.
So it's hard to get it.
I wasn't really thinking about that.
You got to change it to like the original Bangladesh. or
Super
something
producer
like that. Got it.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
It's so
Got it.
long.
You gotta
like, it's-
rebrand it.
Yeah,
Got it.
but I think people overlook me. People really don't know my face. I'm not really
Right.
like my face card is not really.
Mhm.
But my sound is big, so when people run into me, I'm like the mystery nobody ever seen. Like,
And you
wow,
always
oh
had-
my God.
Right.
You always had a big style too, like just in
Yeah.
terms of how you dress. You always been
Yeah.
fly. Like
I think that's just who I am. Like my sound and the way I dress, it kind of make
Mhm.
up for my personality because I'm really chill,
Got it.
but I'm loud in other ways.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
When you're on the TikTok, let's say diva, like that, the way that one phrase is now viral, she ain't no diva. When you hear that, I almost got it. Like I mean,
No, not
but
quite.
when you hear that, and
it's cool. He tried. He
listen,
tried.
my bad. I'm gonna
We'll
leave
get
it to
back to
be.
it.
But when a moment like that happens, as the producer, how do you
Mm-hmm.
feel?
It feels good, you know, to work with Beyonce.
Yeah.
You know, everything I'm doing, I manifest what I'm doing.
Got it.
So it's never a surprise to me. It's never like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'm never overwhelmed. I never like get caught in the moment and celebrate too much.
Since you have worked with so many celebrities,
Mhm.
I'm curious to know what's one moment with the celebrity that really stood out for you, whether it was something crazy, wild, or whatever the case that had an impact on you. What do you think?
Well, I was in a All right, so boom, you know, I was in a session. I was writing with this writer, you know, and we was wrapping up the session, and somebody came in the room. Right, it's just like this mystery person just slid in the room and was just chilling on the wall and was singing the song we just did. Was singing it, like feeling it. So I'm looking. It's kind of dark in there. I'm looking. I said, man, that's Queen Latifah.
Wow.
Like, damn. So she's like, she's feeling the song we did. I don't know how she know it like this. So she wasn't talking though. Like she was just feeling the
Feeling the
song.
vibe.
And they're
just feeling
vibing.
it,
Yeah.
vibing. And you know, I was finna leave. Everybody, the session was over with, and she was trying to like get my attention, like to stay, like she wanted to record the song, but she wasn't talking. She was just like,
making
Right,
making
she was-
motions, and
motions,
moving
right.
You should
and
know what it
stuff.
is.
like the microphone was in the right over there, and she'd be like,
Got it. You just
I said, you want to record the song? It was like it was real. It was different, you know, because I look up to Queen
absolutely.
Latifah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
think
she
we
an
all do.
icon. So
Yeah.
I seen her in that element. It was like night and day. I was like, damn, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because she was a little faded a little bit. So you Queen Latifah. I mean, if you want to book the studio,
Right.
you know, like go holler at, you know, let them know. You
Got
know
it.
what I'm saying? So the engineer was, you know, he was ready to go. So
It was the end of the night.
I guess when she stepped to him about it, he kind of like he was stuck between doing it or not. So he was looking at me like,
What's up?
you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
this not my stuff.
Right,
Like,
right,
this not
right.
my
It's you.
this not
Right.
my studio,
Right.
you know. I was leaving. I wasn't really trying to stay, to be honest. You know, like if this was like,
Was it late?
During
Was it
business
like
hours?
4 a.m.?
nah, it wasn't even about that. It was
Right.
like, I don't know what Queen Latifah doing. Like,
Got it.
I
Got
ain't
it.
like
It was
if this was the '90s, I'd be excited. You know what
Got
I'm
it. You
saying?
mean
But
at the
like,
moment.
we just gonna be doing this just
Yeah.
to be doing it.
right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're already established
Got it.
and
Got it.
comfortable. Like,
Right.
you're not really in that hunger
Grinding,
mode.
yeah.
or,
Hunger
Yeah.
mode. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so I don't really be like
yeah.
anxious to
Got
do.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So we stayed, but she got me. She did reverse psychology on me. She was
How
like,
so?
yeah, I got some music, but you probably don't want to hear it. So that made me want to hear
course.
it.
Right,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So she started playing the music, and it was amazing.
Wow.
You know, she was singing. You know,
Yeah.
something Cool and
Right,
Dre did for
right.
her.
Oh, dope.
Oh.
It was dope. I'm like,
Wow.
man. So, you know, we got to, she was like, yeah, probably don't want to hear my music, which, you know, made me want to hear her music. She was
Absolutely.
playing it. It was dope.
Right.
I pulled out my laptop. I'm starting player beats. So we just in there vibing. We in there vibing. And then she's like, come to my car. So I'm like,
You gotta
hell?
I was
obey your
about to say,
queen.
listen, she was in Khadijah mode.
I'm scared, man. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So she's in front of me walking down the hall, and she turns around and she's like taking pictures of me.
Oh.
I'm like, man, I don't know what's going
Like with her
on.
cell phone?
She's multifaceted. You
Like
know,
with her
she's
cell
a
phone?
photographer
Nah,
too.
she had like this little
real
camera,
camera?
like
Oh,
a
a real
little,
camera.
yeah, like a little one of them Polaroid joints.
Oh, like the mini
Oh.
Polaroids.
And I was kind of like, I ain't know what was finna happen.
Right.
I ain't gonna say what I thought was finna happen.
I think
Okay.
we know. I think we
think-
You know what I'm
gathered.
I think we
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
So
the
I'm
gist.
like,
Clear.
man, what's going on? So, you know, I go to a car, but soon as we hit the hall, she's in front of me. I'm behind her. Then her homegirl behind me.
Oh, there's more
So
people.
I'm like, oh, man.
Sandwich.
right.
So we get to the car. I go to the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Homegirl said, "Nah, get in the front."
Oh.
I said, "Oh shit." So we get in the front.
Y'all
I
was
get
about
in
to
the
set it off.
Right.
I ain't know what was going on, man. I get in the front, and we get in the car. She just start playing more music.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Everything's
Okay.
suspenseful. Like
Okay.
everything's like to make you think something. Then you get there, it's just
Yeah.
nothing's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
Got
You know what
it.
I'm saying?
Got it. Got
The
it.
trick.
She just playing music. The music's loud. One of the studio managers come out and tell her she can't play the music this loud. So she spins a block. She got like this V12 big body Benz. Like we hitting blocks, we hitting curves.
Oh.
Like she driving fast, just listening to music.
Oh, wow.
Come back to the studio, go back in the studio, play more music. You got to understand, I
Yeah.
grew up
Right.
looking, like watching her.
Idolize.
So it was like, I seen her in a different element. And it was
we
like,
all-
man,
That's lit.
We
that
all
was
human.
crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then the next week, I seen her on TV getting an award. She was just glamorous and
Poised.
just red. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like-
Oh, that's
and that's
dope.
why I learned about celebrities. Like, you could turn you could turn it on and
Yeah.
off.
Off,
Yeah.
right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like at a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Like,
You've worked with a lot of celebrities.
Yes.
Was there any particular moment that you knew that you had gotten to that point where you're the celebrity?
I did a record for Eminem when he did him and Royce the 5'9" did a project together.
Shout out to Royce.
And I sent them beats, and Eminem liked the beat. When they recorded the song, he hit me personally. He's like, man, you gonna put your tag on it? So I was like, oh shit.
wow.
Right.
Because I sent it with no tag, you know what I'm
Got
saying?
it. Got it.
So he wanted my tag on there. So I was like, oh, that's dope.
that's-
You know what I'm saying?
Aren't you like one
he's
of the
biggest.
first producers to
Yeah.
start doing that too?
Yeah, I'm one of the first. I think, to be honest, I think Rodney Jerkins used to tag his beats, but he's a R&B
Mhm.
producer.
Right.
But I think that Dark Child was I think that
Oh,
was
yeah.
a tag.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I
Um,
think about it.
I definitely pioneered this for the young kids. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? For like after Millie, everybody started doing it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So like the new era producers, it became a thing. Like they'll have their tag before they develop their style.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but the tag for me was like an arrival to becoming a producer. Like, oh, I found myself.
Got it.
You know
Oh,
what I'm
that's
saying?
dope.
Yeah.
Because it was, when I first started, I was inspired. I think I would sound like who I was inspired
Yeah.
by,
Got it.
and I had to develop my own thing. And I started tagging my beats during 8 Ball and MJG back in like 2003.
Wow.
When they signed the Bad Boy, I did like 3 of their singles on off there, and I started out. I wasn't doing it consciously, knowing what I was doing.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And Bangladesh was my company, my production company. It wasn't even my name.
Name. Got it.
When I started tagging my beats, it's just what people started calling me.
Yeah.
But I always wanted a producer name. But when I came in, I didn't have no producer name, and I didn't want to just make something up that I wouldn't like next year. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
So
Got it.
things be in front of you all the time, but you gotta like really pay attention to them. And it just unconsciously happened like that.
I'm always interested in how certain songs are made. I'm a big Luda fan, and "What's Your Fantasy" has been a favorite of mine since the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
I would love to know a little bit about the story behind.
What's your fantasy?
Yeah.
I was in my auntie basement. I moved to Atlanta in '95. I came from Des Moines, Iowa.
That's right. We got the shared Iowa
Yeah.
Gang.
roots.
I cut hair. That was my hustle. I bought an MPC 2000. That's what I learned to be like the heart of production. And what's your fantasy? I remember I made it. When I made it, it was an intro to another beat.
Got it.
So my science to what I was doing, I would create a beat, then create an intro to it, but I would make it a beat later.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
So I
No,
would
no.
have 2 or 3 beats in one beat.
Right. I got it.
Kind of what Drake be doing now. Like, when
Oh,
the
to
beats
intro to the
change
next-
up and
yeah.
all that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
then you
transition.
decipher
but
which
back
the
then,
intro was.
like, it was too much for people. Like, people be like, nah, it's too much. It's too many beats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So, when I gave Luda the beat, he liked the intro because the intro went like 4/8 bars. It went then it switched into another beat.
Got it.
So he was like, make that a beat.
Yeah.
Which I was gonna do I was gonna
Right.
do,
Right.
but it was good. Like he pointed it out, and I took it and I just put the hi-hat in it and just extended it, then made the change up.
Got it.
Back seat, the change up part, you know what I'm saying? So that's how the beat came about. I gave him the beat. I seen him about a week later, and we was in his living room. He's like, I got something to that beat. He's like,
Oh,
I
wow.
wanna lick you from your head to your toes, and I wanna. And when he was saying it, I was
to them
just,
to the
it was
floor.
new. Like
Yeah,
that was some
yeah.
new style.
It definitely was.
It was
No,
a new
It
style.
definitely
Right.
was.
He invented a new
Right,
style.
right.
So I'm looking at him like,
Yeah.
all right, I ain't know nothing.
Right,
I ain't
right,
know.
right.
He was working on his independent album, Incognito. So he had beats from JD and Organized Noise, which was big being an unsigned artist.
Yes. Yes.
Like to have that relationship where they gave him beats.
Right.
But he was going to put those out first because they had a name. Back then it's politics.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
So he told me, he was like, yeah, I'm going to put this out first because their name.
The
and
cosign.
then I'ma
The
put-
cosign was so
yeah,
big at that
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then I'm going to put JD's out next. Then I'm going
Got
to
it.
put yours out
Yeah.
third.
Got it.
But like, independent projects not going to see 3
I was
singles.
literally
Right.
gonna say,
You're
they
not
barely
gonna-
see it.
You're not going to reach that. So you got to
Yeah.
do the right thing the first
First,
time. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So a couple weeks go by, and that just became the song. I guess who he was playing it for people, and
And
they like,
somebody
nah,
said, yeah.
bro,
They're like,
nah,
that's the
this.
one right there.
And see, like these are my idols, like Organized Noise.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite producers.
Right.
JD, I grew up watching on TV, so it's like I'm on here, and I kind of like outdid them.
Got it.
Like I got the first single on something. So like I think that to answer the other question, that was kind of a highlight to know when I arrived. Like but it was so early.
It was so
Yeah.
early. Got
early.
it.
I didn't want to like it wasn't like
Got it.
really there yet.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah.
like a big deal because I
It's a
moved to
huge
Atlanta
deal.
to be in Dungeon Family.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm on a project with
Done.
Rico
Yeah.
and them. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when What's Your Fantasy came out, you know, they hearing that.
Yeah.
So they recognizing me like, oh man, that nigga
Absolutely.
hard. Like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Andre know me, Rico know
Yeah.
me. Like, man, that nigga,
That's big.
that nigga hard. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope.
I gotta ask you about the growing pains because I know it's everybody knows being a producer is not an easy thing. There's a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like even when you could have like one of the biggest songs, you might not have got paid off of it.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah.
biggest lesson that you learned or the hardest challenge that you went through?
Growing pains, I think, is just the business, just knowing like
Yeah.
business and personal, two different things.
Right.
That's really the only thing you gotta get over. If you come in here like a real dude, a real person, where like before you get in the game, you have these ideas, you're gonna be like this, man.
Yeah.
You hear stories like, man, that ain't right. I would have never, oh man, I'ma do it like this.
Right.
But when you get in the game, it ain't like that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So you gotta figure the politics out. And that's pretty much the growing pains of it. Yeah, just figuring out the business part. Not necessarily the rules, but how people are, how people
Absolutely.
maneuver, how people think, reading, decoding what they say.
Right.
So like I'm great at knowing what people say, what they don't say.
Right.
I'm great at it. Like I'm
reading between the lines.
yeah, I read between the lines so much. Like people tell me, they'll tell me about something they going through with somebody. I say, so what did they say first?
Right.
How did they say it?
Right.
Right.
So where did that come from?
Right.
So,
What
so
did
you
you
got to
say?
break
Yeah.
it
You
gotta
down
break
to
it
know
down.
what it means. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So the music business really did a lot for my for me, you know, as far as like reading people and knowing what's going on. Besides that, it's really didn't have no issues. Everything else is like things that can be fixed.
Right.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Like not getting royalties or not getting this or not getting that. All that. Your paperwork cool, your paperwork right. Those things gonna
Right.
you're gonna get it.
But
Yeah,
doesn't
you're gonna
that
get it.
create issues sometimes, like with artists? And have you
They
had those
can,
type
but
of
the
things?
artists don't even be knowing what's going
Yeah.
on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it really be
More about the labels.
be between you and the label. And sometimes the label don't even be knowing what's going on. Cause like certain deals are different.
Yeah.
People's deals are different than others. So they don't even be knowing the business sometimes.
That's true.
So they don't even have things in place to pay you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So other than that, I mean, of course y'all know about the cash money.
That's what I was
thing,
gonna
you know.
ask. I wasn't sure if I could
But,
ask about
it's
it, but
it's just
I'm glad
like
you're
so
addressing.
cliche. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like to talk about it.
That
But
makes sense.
we you know, once you expose the problem, baby take care of it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Got it.
you know,
Got
he flew me to Miami, he cut me a check, and went to the bank.
that's great.
Right. Right.
Wow,
That's
that's how you
So they
handle
do
that.
like a hand check. So like you could tell they ain't got their stuff, their system in place.
Okay. That makes
It's
sense.
not. They're not using a payroll system.
Right.
It's
Nah,
like
like,
Got you.
Right.
go right
that
to
shit
the
could
boss.
really bounce
Their
for
payroll.
real. Like,
But it didn't.
Y'all
So
know.
we
But
good.
it did it.
Nah,
It
nah,
cleared. Check
nah, we
cleared.
good.
Right. Right.
We good. It was a good $500,000.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
period. Well, if that's what,
Okay.
if you're gonna write a check, that's the way to
A
do
millie's
it.
a big song. You
Yeah.
know?
No,
So
yeah,
Millie is a
true.
big song.
It's a
True,
big
true,
record.
true.
It's
Huge
like
song.
8 million sold.
Yeah.
Got 2 more to go to be diamond.
2 more to go to
Wow.
be diamond.
You gonna
Oh.
get there?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there's no
6 foot, 7 foot is bigger than a millie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had 2 diamond records in my future.
Wow.
6'7" is a monster.
I love that.
I mean, a monster track.
Yeah.
Like a monster.
And I
Yeah.
got 2 Grammys from a millie. I got 5 Grammys total.
I know you've had artists of your own.
Mhm.
So whether you're working with younger producers or artists, like what is the best advice that you would give them that you've learned?
Yes.
Artists is the most difficult because Because the game operate off a young artist.
Right.
You know, the youngest the younger they are, the better.
Because that hunger is a
But
different sound.
the younger they are, the less they know themselves.
Got it.
So I've had the most difficult problem with artists because I don't really put up with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So you know, today's artists with the Instagram and shit, like you can have a meeting with them, tell you how to do things, and they'll sit there, they say okay, then they leave and they do it anyway.
Instagram and do the exact
they
opposite.
do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because they was probably scrolling when you was telling them.
That's a fact.
Well, I had a lot of artists.
Got it.
But I would say I'll tell you about three. One, I had one of the dopest rappers. Nigga just crazy. Just went crazy. It's like when you put people in position, they be scared of the position, and they be doing stuff to sabotage it.
Yeah, self-sabotage.
They're self-sabotaging.
Right.
Then I had this female artist, dope, like the next Rihanna.
I know.
Signed to Def Jam.
Yeah.
Signed to Def Jam. Like we dope.
Yeah.
Incredible. Just, you know, when I feel like when people hear the same thing so much, it becomes them.
That's true.
So when you tell them the truth, when you give them constructive criticism, they can't handle it.
Got it.
And they fold and they go look for what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So they think you don't like them or you don't rock with them, and they go open up conversations about you everywhere else where it sounds good to the person they talking to.
Got it.
She was signed to Def Jam for we got her a deal when she was 16. We was signed there for 4 years, never put out music
At all.
They never dropped her. We by the time we started putting out music, she was lazy.
Got it.
Because now she having sex. Now she being told she's pretty, she's this, she's that. She ain't got to do this, blah, blah, blah. And she's used to the lifestyle.
Got it. With no music?
Huh?
With no music?
With no music. Because, like, everybody tell her she pretty and she this, she that, and she's talented.
Got it.
So, it just makes you not want to do nothing.
Absolutely.
Def Jam gave her, let her take over Def Jam's IG on every Monday.
Got it.
She hardly do it. She won't do stuff that she don't feel like doing.
Got it.
So she ended up getting dropped. I had these two kids. They was they made up the whip and the nay-nay. One made the whip up and one made the nay-nay up. We got them a deal at Epic. Ezekiel wanted to sign them. And all we had to do, all he wanted them to do was meet what's her name? Sylvia Rome.
Got it.
So he flew us up to meet Sylvia Rome. These niggas missed the plane.
Wow.
Wow.
Was this the Rolly kids? Is that what you know?
Famous to most.
Oh,
they missed the plane, bro.
Yeah.
But still, like, complaining about what we ain't doing. Oh, this is not, we ain't, what's going on?
The fact that you would miss a meeting with Sylvia Rome is insane.
Change your life.
Insane. Young artists, if you're listening, never miss a meeting with Sylvia Rome.
It's crazy what you go through with young artists, man.
We appreciate this time and all this knowledge you've been dropping for us.
No problem. I appreciate y'all.
This is Nzinga Imani here with Ray Holiday and Janae Bolden. That has been All Right So Boom.